Millions of people around the world are displaced every year because of flooding. In Manitoba, Canada, First Nations communities are being negatively impacted in the name of progress and development. In 2011, the flooding of Lake St. Martin resulting from the Portage Diversion project brought more than just water issues to the community.
During that time, as the flood proceeded to its maximum levels, you could see the community getting inundated with water everywhere. And you could see it coming for a long time, and it just kept on coming. A lot of people left the community. I never left. I wanted to have some kind of normalcy for the people that stayed. To see the whole community being flooded like the way it was, and it was a man-made flood. It wasn't a natural flood, and over the course of many months.
Challenges now faced by Little Saskatchewan First Nation have resulted in health challenges, poor compensation for work, homes, and property damaged by the flood, unfinished houses, and disrupted family dynamics.
You see my yard? It was full of water. Like the lake reached my house about 10 feet from my bedroom corner. And I used to have horses, and that was my pasture land for my horses. And coming home day in, day out to a lake instead of a pasture land, it was stressful.
I feel like nobody was around, like I was the only one with my family around,
And, after it flooded, we were evacuated for 8 years, and during that time we really didn't see much of one another, which really affected me. I was only 11 years old, and I went from having this big family, we were all together and everything, to moving to Winnipeg where we really didn't have anyone.
Just missing everybody, and then reuniting when everybody came back. So it's like nobody was the same anymore, nobody knew what a drug was before we got flooded out. Now that they came back, everyone's different.
I guess all of the friends that I had here, it's so weird coming back here now because I see them as adults, and some of them even have families of their own now. They have their own kids and whatever. So it's just strange to be separated from everybody, because once we left from here, we were I had no contact with anybody really.
There are a lot of issues in regards to the way it was handled. The flood itself, we have a dam on number 6 highway, Fairford River, and some of the biggest issue during 2011 was Portage Diversion that was meant to save Winnipeg from flooding, and ultimately Lake Manitoba reached levels never before seen in history probably, and part of that was due to the mismanagement of the lake, keeping it at high levels in prior years. And by the time people realized that there was lots of water, it was too late, and they just opened up the dam completely, and then of course it really affected us. A lot of the houses that were within the community were completely destroyed, and they did several studies on all the houses, and a lot of them have been condemned. Probably about 99% of them have been condemned. And the new houses that have been built were built in a town site away from the actual reserve originally. So it's not a community that people are coming home to. It's a different community altogether.
Here, I don't want to move because this is home. It feels like home to me.
I'm sorry to leave this. I'm like, yeah, the new house is appealing, but the deep inside in my heart, I'm sorry to leave this.
It felt like we're never getting our home back. We're trying to gather that all again. Like, we're trying to do gatherings, festivities, but it's still bringing people home actually. And some don't want to come back, and it's hard to do that if we can't have everyone like the way it used to be. You know what I mean? We're slowly rebuilding, and that's a challenge.
For the people coming home, I don't know if they're going to say that's their home personally. Myself, I see maybe 2 generations before people accept that as home. But ultimately, I hope they come moving back to the original community. For the people that stayed, and now with the people coming back, you know, trying to have a new beginning, they do come back to the original community.
The next generation, we look after them. We make sure that they overcome it, as well as we're taking it. Like, you know, like as adults, we need to help them realize that, well, no, we're not flooded out anymore. You know, we need them to understand that this is their upbringing now.